Hey YouTube, this is another update on my Dynamark kind of mower. I was going to say jacked up, but I wouldn't really say it's all that jacked up. But anyways, I've been working on the front axle here, and well, I welded a few bars together and drilled a few holes, and I finally made my dream come true. Now it sits up about that high. I'd say that's about I want to say at least 6 inches or so. Hang on. I did have a ruler laying right on the ground here. I don't know where it went. Yeah, I got all my tools laid out here where I've been working on this thing, which is gonna really suck, so I gotta clean it back up, but it's worth it. Oh snap. I got mud all over the place, all over my shoes. Which is good, but it's annoying. Alright. Okay, whoa, I take it back. That ain't 6 inches. That's about 8.5 inches off the ground. So, that's pretty good for a mower. Now, I'll kind of show y'all what I did here. I basically just took some flat pieces of metal. I mean, they're pretty thin there. I don't really know the width, but I took some of those, welded them coming down here, and then I took one on the back side, which I drilled a hole through, which I had to go over to my neighbors to do, but got a hole through it and welded it on the back side. So that's what's holding the front side of my axle on. Oh goodness. And then on the back side, I just welded another little flat piece right there. Y'all really can't see it, but it's that little flat piece going all the way across there. Anyways, yeah, welded that on. And the reason why on the front side I have those and this is spaced, and on the back side it's just this piece or whatever welded up against this piece, is because on the back side this piece, this whole plate sits down about to where this one starts. So the back side sits down lower than the front side does, which really sucked, because that meant that I couldn't just weld this one on there and then the back side on there to weld all this extra crap. But it's okay, I guess you say it makes it stronger. So yeah, did that, and well, it works pretty good. I drove it around the yard a couple times. I really haven't taken it up my little hill climb, which is down there. Y'all can't see it because all the bushes, but it's behind that little pool thing right there. Anyway, I'll do a video on that some other day when I'm driving it around, but actually it might be today, but anyways. And it seemed to work pretty good. I had to come back in because I know this is really dumb, but I kind of forgot to bolt this or put the nuts back on. So my bolt started kind of inching out, and I noticed that my axle started getting flimsy like this. What? I said, great, this one of these and broke. And looked up and this was inching out. So, but yeah, runs good and sits up pretty good. But hang on, let me put this thing back down. Oh goodness. Alrighty, well, as you can see, axle works pretty good, but I do have some steering problems. Problems with my steering is, when I lowered it down that much, my little steering linkage, it's not long enough to bolt into the original space, and so I added this little metal piece with a bunch of holes in it. I put it in that hole and bolted it to the frame right here, but that still doesn't help all that much. And if you're wondering if that rubs, it doesn't, barely, but it still doesn't steer all that great. And y'all will see that when I'm driving it around or whatever, or whenever I go up my little hill climb down there. The problem is, it sits down so low now, or the axle does, so that can't compensate for the space that's in between it. And I unscrewed that all the way out, and it still wouldn't really work with it, because when when my axle bent down and this side went up, that the steering linkage would pull this back in order to, because it was going down, so it would basically steer for me, which I don't want that because I can't steer. So, but that metal piece actually helps a lot. You know, I mean, you may not think like an inch of difference helps, but it really does. But, oh snap, I'll show you what I mean. Alright, that's all the way that way, and steering this way, I can only steer that freaking far. But when I hit a hill, it knocks the tires all the way back to where they're supposed to turn. So, I mean, it's not all that bad. But, yeah, just thought I'd do a little review on that, since I finally got it done. It took me forever because I had to wait for my neighbors to, for him to be open, because he's a junkyard owner or whatever, so he's got a bunch of stuff going on. But yeah, well, put my hood back on and bolt that back in, and I'm gonna take it for a real drive. Yeah, catch y'all later.